You'll hear 5 different people talking about online activities. For questions 19 to 23, choose from the list A to F what each speaker says. Use the letters only once. There is one extra letter which you do not need to use. You now have 30 seconds to look at part 3.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds. You'll need to play the recording twice.
Speaker 1.
Quite close to where I live, there's a lovely wood that's been there for centuries. It's a beautiful place. But recently the town council announced they were going to cut down all the trees to build a road. Well, many local people were angry. So they formed an online discussion group for anyone opposed to the plan, and I've followed their correspondence on the subject for weeks now. I'd like to take a more active part in this, but I'm out at work all day and evening, so I've asked them to send me summaries of what's been said. So when I get home at night, there are always quite a few emails from the group with lots of useful information and suggestions. The internet is great for keeping in touch with what's going on.
Speaker 2.
Every morning before I go out to work, I go through all the papers online. This doesn't cost anything, though some of the big media groups are talking about bringing in charges. That'd be a pity, because it's really interesting to see how each one covers the main story of the day, which aspects of it they include and which they leave out, which they particularly emphasise, and, of course, whether they put the story at the top of their front page or bury it lower down on an inside page. After a while, you realise there are always several ways of understanding a major event, and that they may all be partly right.
Speaker 3.
I started doing this last year, and it's great. I used to spend hours at street markets looking for bargains, but doing it all online at home is so much quicker. Nowadays, I just search for the item I want, usually clothes, by size, make and colour, then follow it until the auction has nearly ended. At that point, I offer a little more than anyone else, and that's usually enough to win it. Though sometimes another person then offers more than me, and then it becomes a competition to see who can win. So there's a risk of ending up paying more than the thing's actually worth, which of course makes the seller very happy.
Speaker 4.
A year ago, I bought a webcam. You know, one of those little cameras that goes on top of your computer screen. It didn't cost much, and I thought it'd be nice to have online chats and see my friends at the same time. In fact, I very rarely used it, and after a while I forgot about it. Then, last month, I was offered a desk job in another town. I didn't want to move and was about to turn it down, but the boss said the company wanted to help employees avoid travelling. There was no need for me ever to go into the office, he said, as meetings could be held over the internet. So, using that camera, that's what I do.
Speaker 5.
I looked at a number of social networking sites before I decided to join this one, and I think I made the right choice. As long as you don't put details such as your address or phone number online, or those of your friends, it's pretty secure, I think. And it's a fantastic way to keep in touch with people you know. You can also make new friends from different backgrounds and different parts of the world. And the best thing of all is that you don't have to pay. I'd recommend it to anyone who has a little time to spare in the evenings.
That's the end of part 3. Now turn to part 4.